Thank you. So, as per the FIA, AI is expected in terms of Section 24 and Regulation 15 of the FIA Act to screen clients or potential clients involved in transactions against relevant sanctioning authority list, in particular the United Nations Security Council UNSC list. So the FIC avails AIs as defined under FIA with a sanction screening tool to allow these AIs to screen before engaging in business. So the sanction screening tool is the FIC really avails this to AIs to enhance your compliance level, to also reduce risk and ensure that you are compliant with the Financial Intelligence Act. So as per our tool, some shortcomings were identified as per the mutual evaluation outcomes that Chris alluded to earlier. So in particular, immediate outcome 4, which recommended, which reads as follows: enhancement of the bond development UNSCR sanction screening tool used by small to medium-sized FIs, financial institutions, and designated non-financial banking persons, DNFPPs. So this was raised as a finding by Isamlak. To address the findings, we have broken up the project into 2 phases. Phase 1, which we have currently concluded, is so here we have the as is and the enhancements. So we have batched and individual screening. So with the enhancement, we now have, let me just put on a laser point. So with enhancement, now we also have additional to individuals, organizations, we also screen vessels for AIs that need to screen vessels. Then the previous sanction screening tool only screened against the UNSCR list, so the United Security Council list. The enhanced screening tool has quite a robust consolidated database where we look at multiple sanctioning authorities, such as OFAC, Japan, BIS, UK, etc. We've also managed to automate the colleagues. If you may kindly just mute your mics. We've also managed to automate the daily update of the databases. So that's automated process. We still have the audit log feature, so record keeping, which is quite important. So we as FIC, so as FIC compliance, the administrative section do have a component where they can see your screening behavior and ensure that you have actually been screening, who you have screened, and what further investigation you've done on individuals, organizations, vessels that have a high hit rate. So each entity still has its own credentials, and then we've also enhanced the search criteria feature. Exporting of screening history is also in the new tool. So now that we've looked at the current tool, we know the ask was that there were some shortcomings in the tools. We've broken, as mentioned, the tool or the enhancements into 2 phases. So in phase 1, we've, as mentioned, now we screen vessels. We have quite a robust database of sanctioning authorities. Database updates automated. So the search criteria has also been improved. So next we'll look at the demo, and we'll walk through the demo. Once we've looked at the demo, we'll discuss the way forward, and then lastly, and then we'll have the Q&A. So in terms of the demo, we have the new tool. So the new tool will be accessed as same as with the other tool. You will navigate to the FIC website. Once you've navigated to the website, you will go to the FIC reporting portal production. You'll log in, and then we'll update. So perhaps we can look at the way forward now. So in terms of the way forward, we're having the apologies. So we're having the stakeholder engagement today, external stakeholder engagement. Then by tomorrow, we'll have a soft launch. So we'll avail the updated tool. We'll avail a user guide, as well as a tutorial video on how to use this tool. This tool will then be put on the FIC reporting portal alongside the previous tool. And this is just for AIs to familiarize themselves with the updated tool. pose any queries should they have. But we do believe that the user guide will be more than robust, as well as the tutorials. We fully expect you to thoroughly first read through and assess the user guide before you engage us. We will ensure it's quite comprehensive. And then on the 25th of October, the tool will officially go live. We'll decommission the old sanction screening tool, and this is all in in objective to or in object to achieve to ensure that we address IO4 from the mutual evaluation. So let's now look at the tool. So the tool will be accessed the same as currently. You'll navigate to the FIC website as demonstrated previously. We can re-show that. Navigate to the FIC website, fic.na. You'll navigate to FIC reporting portal production, and you'll have the sanction screening tool, which you can access here, and you'll have the updated user guide over here. And then we'll also add a link to the YouTube, to the tutorials, which we'll place on YouTube. So if you now access the previous tool, you'll be prompted with, instead of this page, you'll now be prompted with this page. So in terms of the login feature has been amended slightly. So the way it'll work, you'll still use your FIC user credentials, but only your username in the first component username. You'll then log on, and you'll be prompted with an OTP, with a one-time password linked to that. So here we have the password just came through on my email. I can demonstrate that. So you'll have the one-time password that will be linked to your email. So you'll see the email came through now at 9:14. Here's the OTP, which you'll access over here. You can just copy it to ask you for the login code. You'll just paste it there, and you'll verify the code. So based on our feasibility study and understanding of how paid versions of screening is proposed, we realize that typically they only have a search criteria name and a date of birth for individual screening. And then once you've screened your individual, you can then further filter on, okay, I want to only filter for this list of the sanctioning authority, but we'll demonstrate that shortly. In terms of screening type, you have individual, organization, and vessels. Excuse me, colleagues, if you could kindly mute your mics. Thank you. So in terms of individual, we'll just do a demonstration. So we'll search this individual, this Abdul Rashid individual, and we'll just screen him at a minimum score of 65. So the higher you make the score, the sort of stricter your criteria for output will be. Colleagues, we're recording. If you could kindly just pause your mic, mute your mics. Thank you. So we've screened for Abdul, and we see that we have a total of 17 outputs. So you can toggle between the different pages. I'm toggling to page 2, page 1. So your objective is to see which individual could be a potential match. So the most important part is this score, where we use enhanced fuzzy match features. So this ensures that should there be any manipulation or spelling errors in the name, that the algorithm will ideally pick it up. We also time prioritize UN sanction authorities to appear higher. And then, as mentioned, should you now wish to enhance your search, you have filtering capabilities here. So if you now click on this sort of filtering icon, okay, now I clicked on the wrong filtering icon. You can now filter. Yeah, so you can now filter on the particular list you wish to be to show first. If you want the UN, for example, or filter on the UN, and we have Abdul Rashid. We're looking at quite a high risk. Should you further enhance your search? So on the FIC administrative portal, we will be able to see whether you have done due diligence on the screened individual. So it's not sufficient to just screen, it's also sufficient to further investigate and look at the individual's nationality or country of birth, date of birth, etc. And we'll also see that should we add, let's say we do the Abdul again, and we add date of birth, which was for Abdul is 1990, I think 1997, 1974, January 31st, and we screen. We'll see a much higher, slightly higher score, because now we have a more exact match for this Abdul Rashid. So also important to take note in the new tool is that we factor in aliases. So aliases is a list of names that this individual could be known as, which the previous tool didn't take into account. So that's typically how you'd screen for an one individual. It's the same for a vessel or organization. Let's just demonstrate for vessel. So we'll search ammunition and metallurgy. A reminder, if you search organization, just to select organization feature and then screen. And now we'll have the output for the organization. Once again, if you go into the particular organization, once again, prioritizing UN, you can see the list of or the aliases that this organization could be known as, just to further do your due diligence. We also have, let's next look at batch screening. The template will also be placed in the FIC GoMR reporting site, same as with the previous screening tool. The template can also be downloaded by clicking here. So here we have the batch template download. I've opened it up now. Is it now? It's opening up. Here's the batch template download. Yeah, so here you can add the entity or the individual's name, if it's an individual, date of birth, and then the minimum score. Please take note that the minimum score will be 65. Should you choose a higher score, that will be assessed at that score. Also, do take note that we currently, as is, the tool is searching more than 250 individuals or organizations is not ideal due to computing issues. We are looking at assigning additional resources to perhaps be able to handle 500 screenings. But to take note, it's 250. 250 we will confirm in the tutorial guide. Yes. So if you do not wish to do a batch screening, I have an example here of a populated batch template. So you'll just add the name and the particular score. Should you wish to amend the minimum score, the minimum score is at 65. So I'll just close the file. You'll choose the particular file you want to upload. Go to wherever you've saved it. So it was batch template 4. You will open up that file, and with individuals, so you select as individuals, organizations, or vessels. So for demonstration purposes, we'll just look at individuals, and you will just click upload file. As mentioned, this is a bit compute intensive because it needs to do all of those permutations over the different lists. So the previous tool only had UNSC or sanctioning authority. Now we've incorporated 6 additional sanctioning authorities. So it does take a bit longer. And let's just wait for the screening to be complete. Yes. So what you have here is you have the output of the individuals that you've put in your batched Excel list. So we have date of birth, which I haven't implemented. We have the minimum score, the number of results that popped up, and the number of views. So the number of views would indicate should we open up this individual, should has the AI thoroughly screen or thoroughly screen this individual to assess whether this is a match. That's what so that's with the batch screening. You can also export this feature to Excel should you wish to share it with should any regulatory body or supervisory body request this from you. There's an export feature. I'm just demonstrating that. And here you would have that export feature demonstrated. So you saw we did look at Thomas Garcia, so we can so that the body would be able to confirm that AI XYZ did in fact up a screen or to thorough assessment on Tomasa Garcia. As I mentioned from the FIC side, we do have an administrative portal where we have access to all AI's screening behavior, so we know whether you're screening or not, and also to what extent you are screening. And also from your AI's point of view, you will have a screening history portal where you can monitor whether your analysts or compliance analysts have been screening these individuals that have conducted business with you. So we saw the organization we screened, that ammunition, the Abdul Rashid, which we initially screened. We have the time which we screened, so you can also see who screened the particular individual, and then the number of views. We also have a small dashboard where we just show you by which sanctioning authority most hits appear from, in terms of what you've viewed, which sanctioning authority you viewed. So it makes sense that UN would be the highest count, and then also the top 5 nationalities as per your screening history that has popped up. In terms of batch screening, as we mentioned, here's the batch screenings history, and you can export that batch template, which we can open up, which we recently looked at. So this is we can call it your batched repository. I think from the sanction screening tool, I hope I didn't miss anything, but that concludes the demo for that. So as mentioned,